Hey guys, thanks for stopping on in for today's video where I'm going to be going over why Donald Trump's re-election bid might be in a bit of trouble. I have a lot of different data to present to you, so I'm just going to dive right into it. So on the screen right now, you're seeing the 2016 results. Of course, Donald Trump surprising a lot of people as he went on to upset Hillary Clinton, getting 306 electoral votes to Clinton's 232. Now, the basis of going into 2020 and why the Democrats feel very confident is because what has taken place in what are traditionally Democratic states in presidential years, those being the states of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. So if we go and take a look back at the raw numbers, the darker red states on the map are the ones that Trump was able to flip in 2016 that Obama had won previously in the 2012 election. And those Midwestern states, a lot of them were very competitive, including Wisconsin, where Trump won by 0.7 percentage points, Michigan 0.3 percentage points, and Pennsylvania, where he won by 0.7 percentage points as well. And then we go over and take a look at how Trump is currently doing in those states in terms of his net approval rating. That's where things start to get pretty disappointing for those that are supporters of the president, where he's negative 14 net to the disapproval in the state of Wisconsin, negative 15 in Michigan, as well as negative 9 percentage points in Pennsylvania. And also, the reason why the Democrats are feeling really good about winning these three key states after being so close back in 2016 is if we take a look at the 2018 midterm elections, the Democrats did very well in these areas. In the Senate, the statewide races, Baldwin was able to defeat Vukmir by 11 percentage points in the state of Wisconsin. Stabenow was able to beat James by around 7 percentage points, and Casey defeated Barletta by around 13 percentage points. So some really good statewide results there for the Democrats in 2018. But not just in the Senate, also the governor's races happen to all be happening in those three key states as well. And we see in Pennsylvania, the Democratic governor won by 17 percentage points. In Michigan, the Democrats were able to reclaim the governorship after not having won it the two prior cycles, where the Republican Rick Snyder was able to win. But this time, Whitmer was able to defeat Schuette by around 10 percentage points. And what's really impressive about that with Whitmer is Schuette, he was kind of playing this situation where he didn't know if he wanted to exactly tie himself to Donald Trump or not. And the contrast to that is over in the Senate race, John James was all in on tying himself to Donald Trump. Schuette kind of came around there and hooked himself to the Trump bandwagon, but still at the end of the day losing by nearly 10 percentage points, and a little bit closer of a race obviously over here in Wisconsin because Evers was going against the incumbent Republican Walker, but still was able to pull through at the end, winning by 1 percentage point. So the statewide races of Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania in the 2018 midterms all went to the Democrats, which was very positive signs for them. So we go back and take a look at the 2016 map, and if the Democrats are able to flip these three key states, that puts it at 278 to 260, which would get them obviously enough to claim the presidency. Now, the Trump supporters might say, okay, well, even in this scenario where Trump might go on and lose these three key states, maybe he's able to expand in other areas where he was very competitive with Hillary Clinton. And we actually have information from the Trump team in some states that they could be targeting to expand on their maps, and those states include New Hampshire, which was extremely close, as well as Minnesota, Nevada, Maine, Colorado, Virginia, New Mexico, as well as Oregon. But these states in particular, just going back and taking a look at his net approval map in these areas. So starting out with New Hampshire, 22 percentage points to the net disapproval. So that one's not looking so good. Minnesota, negative 16. Nevada, negative 9. Maine, negative 11. Colorado, negative 12. Virginia, negative 4. So that one's more so in the region of perhaps being possible and competitive. But then outside of that, we also have New Mexico, which is negative 16, and Oregon, which is negative 18. So it's not like he's doing all that well in those states that he came up just short in losing to Hillary Clinton in 2016, in contrast to some of those states where he was able to come through, and some of those key ones obviously being Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania that aren't looking all that great at this point in time. And just to kind of wrap up this video, I want to talk about elections in particular. So Republicans generally do well when the vote is suppressed and less people turn out, while Democrats tend to do a lot better when there is very high voter turnout. And I'll show you If we go back to the 2014 numbers, extremely low voter turnout. The Republicans got 40 million votes. The Democrats got around 35.5 million. The Republicans won by around 6 percentage points. This is for the overall House of Representatives. And the Democrats lost 13 seats from the 201 where they were at, and the Republicans boosted up to 247 seats in the House of Representatives. So that's what can happen in these low turnout scenarios. Republicans tend to do quite a bit better. But ever since Trump has been president, there has been a lot more voter enthusiasm. We saw that in the 2018 midterms for the House of Representatives. Vastly higher voter turnout. And when that happens, Democrats tend to win, and we see that here where they had 60.5 million votes. The Republicans had a little less than 51 million votes, so winning by nearly around 9 percentage points nationwide, and they picked up 41 congressional seats. When you have a situation where you can energize that Democratic vote and boost turnout, that's going to be a good thing, more than likely, for the Democrats at the end of the day, where you go back to 2014, where it was just a terrible year for the Democrats, very low enthusiasm. This was the midterm election year of the second term that President Obama was in office. But with Trump in office, it's really rallied the Democratic base. So one would expect in 2020 there to be significantly high voter turnout, and that's likely to benefit the Democrats at the end of the day. And we could see some changes in this electoral map as a result, where the Democrats are trying to get over at least to that 270 electoral number to win the presidency. So this is the data that I put together here today to try to lay out this case that it could be a very tough situation for Donald Trump to try to win his re-election bid. So thanks, guys, for stopping by. Consider subscribing for more, and I hope to see you guys back here for my next video.